Hello, hello, hello. I'm under here. My name is Amber Greenlee. This is Philo. If you haven't tuned in before, it's an improv drawing show where we make a comic based on chat suggestions and just whatever is going on in the story. Let me introduce my co-host and better half. This is Robin Fisher, a Canadian comic scholar. I found out kind of recently that you've written for the Comics Journal like a lot. And that's
not a lot, just like I think 4 times.
Just more than 3. And then we have a guest artist today, Casey Craddock. Let me grab your caption. La la la, there it goes. See, today's guest, Casey Craddock. Her Instagram is Casey Bug Creations if you want to see her work. And Casey's worked in animation for like a long time. Right now, she's working for a guy that I know has PBS as a client, and then in the past has been like Warner Brothers and a bunch of other animation studios. But we'll go over that in a bit. We do have a cat in cat cam. This is Bruce. Beautiful. Yeah, Bruce is the old guy, so he's hanging out with us today. So where we left off in the story, just to kind of do this. So let me I don't know, I'll put us at the bottom. Where we left off in the story is that the Kaiju Council suddenly appears. They're in the land of Philo. We have no idea if Meow's there, but we do have giant beavers, Willendorfs. We have Philo there. The killer bees from the Wu-Tang are there, and they're flying in on the killer bees. So that's where we left off. I can take the first panel.
Yeah, because I understand now that our goal is to kind of wrap things up, but I have no idea why the Kaiju Council would be there.
Yeah,
because they would have to become a Centagon again.
Well, maybe they're trying to invoke the Centagon-ness of them. I don't know. Like, that's the whole point, is like we had them show up.
Maybe the Willendorfs want them to do that so that they can wreak havoc, but why? Maybe they want to possess the power to capture Mao.
I could see that. Well, is Mao there?
Well, he's got to show up at some point. Isn't his castle with mixtapes on that planet, or is it elsewhere? I forget.
Well, if they flew on the bees, then I would say that they're on the same planet. Like maybe the portals aren't necessarily going through different dimensions. Maybe it's going through
different places.
Yeah, like different places in the same dimension.
That would make sense because Andre, who knows how powerful he really is.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
His power is planet bound. Makes sense.
Okay, so I am going to open up here. So what happens next then? We have the Kaiju Council there. We have Meow there. Does Meow go up?
I had an idea.
Okay.
How about as they're flying the bees, like a net jettisons out and they get captured because the Willendorfs want them to turn into Centagods, and Mao ratted out the Willendorfs to the Kaiju Council.
That's a lot of ideas to cram into one.
Okay, well we can cut it up. You don't have to use it all.
Yeah. Okay. So I like the idea
of the net. Spitballing.
I like the idea of the net. So what we'll say is a net comes out of nowhere. And
you could just draw a cannon with a net coming out of it, doesn't have to be
like one of those T-shirt guns.
Yeah,
exactly,
something like that. And so I could do that. And then for your panel, Casey, what happens after the net is fired? Do they get caught in the net?
Because the Kaiju Council has shown up, so it happens. It's happening, I think.
Okay. So they're caught in the net, and then okay, so I guess that would be your caption, Casey, is for panel 2, they're caught in the net.
Am I just typing out the action, or do I?
Yeah. Is the caption is they're caught in the net, and so again, that's kind of your caption panel thing.
It's however you want to draw it.
It's however you want to draw it. So yeah. So, but yeah, anything interesting happened in the world of comics or film or movies or anything? Oh, wait, I saw Deadpool. It's amazing.
Holy shit.
Awesome. I have not seen it yet, so no spoilers.
No spoilers. Go see it. It's enjoyable.
Everywhere I look, it's like, oh, watch this video.
I had like all the guest appearances ruined for me, and I'm like, what the hell?
I did not ruin anything for you.
No, it wasn't even fans. It's like Ryan Reynolds talking about it on his freaking Instagram, or Jennifer Garner, or Wesley Snipes. Like, everybody's talking about it. It's like, fine, great. Now that's ruined.
Yeah, there's some cameos, though, that I haven't been spoiled on the internet from what I've seen. And, you know, I don't want to give anything away. I enjoed it.
You enjoyed it.
The plot is a little wobbly, but it's stupid. It's like a super fun movie. It just
well, that's what Deadpool is. And you know, I gotta be honest with you, as a big comic nerd, I think Deadpool is probably one of the most faithful of the MCU like comic to movies of them all. Like, they really got it right in that first movie. It's exactly like the comics. It's totally irreverent, stupid, and breaks the third wall. And, like, it's just, like, like, they really did a great job with that series.
Yeah, I thought that, like, I don't know. One thing I really liked about this was that it gave a lot of these characters a proper send-off they didn't get. You know, and so...
Did they need a send-off? I didn't think they needed a send-off. Why do they need a send-off?
Because like their storylines weren't wrapped up. Like the X-Men storyline kind of went all wobbly, and then Logan was a good movie. But like the previous X movies, like the third X-Men movie...
Which one are you talking about? There's been like 2 third X-Men movies.
Both third X-Men movies. You know, I don't need to distinguish between them because both third X-Men movies were bad. Yeah. But that's just me.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have a Willendorf shooting the net. And so we're gonna have
that sounds good.
Yeah, so what the will
you sent me the last couple of panels as a PDF, didn't you? Imagining that? I'm trying to find the reference of that last panel.
Oh, the last panel? No, I was showing it on the screen. And so, are you talking about the Kaiju Council?
Yeah, well, the characters that are going to be in the net, I just wanted to screenshot it because I thought I had an image file of it, but I might be misremembering.
They are the top 4 characters in the Cliff Notes.
Okay, so the beavers and the statues, none of it's just our main guys.
Yeah, it's just our main guys that are caught in the net. Okay. Yeah.
All right, and we're talking.
We should either you should draw it, or first Amber, or maybe it's in the Cliff Notes. But is there an image of Santa God so she knows what that looks like?
Yes,
because that's pretty crazy.
Yes, it is in the Cliff Notes. I do have that. I still need to update the pages, the episode from last week, and then the Cliff Notes all from last week. I just didn't get a chance to get to it today. I did everything else. Hi, Dale!
Then Magic Marmot arrived. Hey, Magic Marmot.
Yeah.
And Kay got really quiet.
Well, Kay is in the middle of selling a house. And so she's really busy right now. And then Magic Marmot's in the middle of like moving a bunch of stuff. So he's probably going to be in and out too tonight.
People are busy people.
Yeah. So I just am going to have Willendorf's shooting the like net gun. And what the Willendorfs are, let's see. Oh, they are filming Huey's episode tonight on Cinema Insomnia. So I am jumping back and forth. Have we drawn any butts yet? No, we have not.
Please insert eye roll here.
Yeah. So the Willendorfs, you know, the Woman of Willendorf statue that, like, you know, they're like, oh, look at this in the history of art. Imagine those, but alive.
Well, that's what they are at the bottom there. They're perfect, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what
boob.
I'm trying to do.
boob.
Oh, wait. You know, what I really should do is I should put Casey in the big.
So
Big
if
screen.
Philo was depicted as a woman in the last panel, because I know that it flexes.
So, Phyla is in charge of the land of Philo, and she's a big
She's like
giant
the
female
goddess.
Philo.
Queen.
And then Philo right now is a man and just human sized.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But then,
And he's got a golem creature that's like part of that grew from part of him called Otis.
That looks like him, but is like shaded in.
so
So that guy can also fluctuate.
Let's see. Phylum is the singular, says Magic Marmot.
The other thing too is Otis is also like a black hole of time travel.
Yeah, he can transform into a variety of things, including a vending machine and portals.
Nice.
And he's a were vending machine, by the way.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Is that also the dog? Wait, so there's
And there's a dog, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a dog.
And then there's also Bluto, who is Philo's gay lover.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that far in the cliff notes.
Yeah, yes.
Who's all in the net? That's why I was trying to get a screenshot of that last panel so I could figure out who's all in the net.
Everyone we're talking about.
Yeah. It's those four that are in the net.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now I have it like a little bit of a sushi thing going on with their heads popping out in the net.
That's perfect.
But I just want to make sure if I had the count right.
Magic Marmot.
Well, there's also the dog.
Let's see. Dale says, is there an equivalent primitive male totem, a William Dork, as it were? And Magic Marmot says, does the dog have special powers? Have we ever established that?
No, I don't think the dog does. He's just a great old dog. He
I think he's just a dog.
And pays attention, and he does a lot of great things. He doesn't need to be super powered. He's special already.
He comes when he's called. He knows his name. You know, he fetches.
But he does indeed have a weakness for pasta.
Yes. And let's see, what else have we had the dog do? He sniffed out the tracker.
Yeah.
So he's a good sniffing dog. But mostly the dog's just kind of been hanging out with everybody else.
We don't have high expectations for the dog. He's just there.
Yeah. It could be like Meow, where he's secret ninja and stuff. Oh, is Meow here? Should we have Meow show up?
I think if Meow is going to show up, he should show up in the third panel. We worry about him in the third panel.
Okay.
But I kind of like the idea that he ratted them out to the Willendorfs. Because it's a nice loop to end everything, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. So what I will do is I will copy these two Willendorfs.
No, wait. He ratted the Willendorfs out to the Kaiju Council. Because he knew that the Willendorfs were going to try and make Santa God.
Okay, I could see that. So he like knows that the Willendorfs are
that's their master plan.
Yeah.
As soon as they saw the Santa God appear that first time, they were like, we need to harness this power. Because remember, they were trying to get Otis as Dat Badan to like do stuff.
Yeah.
Who's the fourth person in the net? I know we got
the dog, Otis, Philo, and Brutus.
Brutus. Yeah. And so Philo and Otis, Philo and Otis look exactly the same, except for Otis is shaded in.
Okay. Yeah. So I got those two.
Otis is shady.
Dog.
He's shady. Okay, I'm gonna start on panel 3. So you got plenty of time on panel 2.
Okay, appreciate. I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I
Yeah,
appreciate
this is
you
like-
coming on and playing with us today.
Yeah, this is like super low, like intense, no intensity at all. It's super casual.
Okay, so
Wait,
We
did you say Bluto or Brutus?
I've been calling him Bluto because that's the original name. That is,
Oh, did I call him Brutus? Sorry.
well,
was
it's the same character. It's the same
Oh,
character.
Brutus?
But,
okay.
yeah, but I've been calling him Bluto because Bluto is in public domain. Brutus is still under copyright. So he's Bluto. So I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
Does the
I
dog
never
expression
realized
on
that was the
Philo
same
roll?
character.
Let's see. Okay, so you said that that Meow turned in the Willendorfs?
To the Kaiju Council.
Okay,
That's why the
okay.
Kaiju Council appears and
Okay.
seems to know that Santa God is going to be encouraged.
Let's see. Meow backstabs the Willendorfs.
You should read what Magic Marmot's writing.
Let's see. Santa God, 100 gods for $1. Santa God smells good a lot.
Actually, I don't know if you know Magic Marmot, but it's Santa God because he's like a centipede.
Yeah, so it's with an I. Let's see. Okay, so Meow backstabs the Willendorfs, comma.
No,
betraying-
I would say Meow rats the Willendorfs out.
Ooh, I like that. Rats
Short and
the
sweet.
Willendorfs out to the Kaiju Council. About their Centagon plans.
Oh, babe.
Yeah, we'll make sure that that's not too long. All right, we'll go up here. We'll do this.
My cat is making mega biscuits right now.
Oh, well, that just means that she loves you.
I don't know about that. I think it's more that she just feels safe.
Well, I mean, feeling safe means that, like, that's a big thing to a cat to feel safe.
That's true.
You know,
She lets me rub her belly. That's pretty good.
Like the god version of human centipede, Zeus, Thor, Dementor. Kind of, yeah. Meow rats out the Willendorfs. Rats the Willendorfs out to the Kaiju Council about their Santa God plans. So we're gonna have the Kaiju Council up here, I think.
Well, they already have. They're in like the fourth panel.
Yeah, and then we're gonna.
Or maybe in that fourth panel, we should add Meow so it looks like he's talking to them, like just the back view of Meow. What do you think?
Well, I was gonna have Meow on their like tablet. And
No,
then
no,
him way
I
down
mean
here.
in the original panel, in panel 4.
Okay. Panel. Well, okay. I have
The
panel
one where
and
they all
panel
show
3.
up. No, like last week's panel. The last panel of last week.
We'd never go back.
Aw. Because that would
We
really
never go
bring
back.
everything together. Okay,
I
cool.
understand, but we don't go back because
Okay, cool.
this is about a forward moving story.
No problem. No
You know,
problem.
I understand. Like, if I was making a real comic where I'm laying out all the pages, making sure which ones like flow best together, and like planning out my double page spreads and doing thumbnails and everything like that. Totally. But it's
So, are you going to draw the Kaiju Council now?
I'm drawing the Kaiju Council now.
Okay, so then, just have, like, Meow behind them instead of in front of them. Kind of like, doing this with his hands because he knows they're going to get in shit and he's going to, I don't know, finally be in power.
I don't know. I'll come up with something. Oh, wait. I know. Besides, Magic Marmot says, like the god version human centipede, Zeus, Thor, Dementor. Continuity be damned, full speed ahead, says Magic Marmot. He gets it.
A blessing like that,
Yeah, okay, so let's do this. Let's try it again. Okay, so what happens next is that he rats out. Oh no, did I not get it right? Oh shit. I think I just screwed everything up. Yeah, I did. All right, never mind. I have to type it again. That's okay.
We have
Let's
time. People are still drawing. It's all good.
Yeah, so It's
I
meow
can
rats.
I can show you something cool.
Yeah, what's that?
So I went to Hamilton yesterday, and I went to two toy stores. They're like, you know, collectible toy store kind of places. The first one was really cool. It's called My Two Uncles, and it's basically my two gay uncles.
Yeah.
And they have so much cool stuff in there. And like a lot of like Barbies and a lot of girl doll things, but like also like all the action figures and Marvel stuff and DC stuff and a lot of vintage stuff, like a lot of stuff from the 60s, a lot of doll houses that were really cool. Anyways, when I lived in China, I discovered that there was this line called Integrity Dolls, and they decided they'd just made a whole line of Gem and the Hologram, and like these dolls looked really good. So I decided to get Stormer, but I did it like, so one of the guys in the toy group convinced me to do it this way where I got her piecemeal. And so, you know, there's like, the shoes are not era appropriate. And she has everything, but it was still like hard to get everything. But anyways, I lost her little flower. So it's Stormer. I don't know if you know Stormer. She's like the guitar player in the Misfits.
Oh yeah. Is she the one that's like not as
she's the nice one.
The nice.
And her brother like auditioned for Gem and the Holograms as the drummer. I think he started dating Kimber. Anyways, she had this orange flower and I lost it. And it's this little tiny little thing, and I was always so mad that I couldn't find it. And the guy at Two Uncles suggested I go to Michael's, which is, I don't know if you guys have Michael's down there. It's like a craft store.
Yeah, we have Michael's.
Anytime I ever went in there, I never found anything tiny at all. But this time I went into the one out in Hamilton, and they had this pack of like little roses and flowers and things. And they had like these little white ones. Where's it? Here's one.
Let's see. Okay.
So here's a little white one.
That says K. Yeah. Oh,
K
very
is
cool.
right. And I was like, oh, these could work really good. So what I did is I glued 3 of them together, and then but before that I colored them all orange with a Crayola marker, and they turned out excellent. I don't know if you can see. Cool. And then it's just the right size for her hair. Here, I'll show you with it in. There, look, see guys?
Very cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Magic Marmot also says very cool.
I'm really proud of myself. It's just a small thing, but I'm like, it worked out really good and I'm happy. I'm very happy. I love Gem and the Holograms so much. I should really get a Gem and the Holograms doll, but I don't know. I really love Stormer. She was sweet. And she was a little tough because she was part of the Misfits.
You always wanted her to like convert to the good side. You know?
But yeah, here's the shoes. The shoes aren't actually like era. These aren't very 80s. They're like kind of like almost like fucking shoes. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Those are more 90s kind of 2000 shoes, but you know, they still look really good on her.
Yeah, and she comes with a guitar and like a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, these dolls are pretty great. They're fully articulated, really nice dolls.
Nice
fabric clothes. So I did get a Barbie when I was there because he has all these. He had a ton of Barbies, and this one was only $25. I've been trying to get like the Barbies of the 80s from when I was a kid, and this one's from 1983, back when I was 8 years old, and her name is Crystal Barbie. Look at that fabric. It's like iridescent lame. It's awesome.
I love it.
And it makes that crinkle noise. Can you hear it?
That is taffeta.
Is it? No, I think it's lame. No, it's lame. Dude, I worked in a fabric store. Don't gaslight me. It's lame.
Well, okay. If you worked in a fabric store, you definitely know above me.
Yeah, it's not taffeta.
The crinkle usually I don't know.
Taffeta's stiffer. Taffeta's way stiffer.
Okay.
But yeah, this is lame, and it's iridescent, and it's so 80s. And she's got like her little diamond ring, and I never had a ton of Barbies growing up, but there were a bunch that I always really wanted. Like the glow in the dark one I showed you the other day that I was really happy to have. But anyway.
I was watching a video on YouTube the other day that was talking about like banned toys. And
oh yeah.
Do you remember the Barbie that they had that had rocket or she had roller skates that like you would run across and it would have like sparks.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Apparently like 10 deaths because of that. Like
Jeez.
People lost their homes.
Oh, because it started fires?
It started fires. People
Whoa.
would run it across like their pillow, right? And then like the pillow on fire. And we're talking little kids doing this and they don't know how to put out a fire. And
yeah,
next thing you know,
brutal.
Home's gone.
Oh, 80s we were a little laxer about things.
Well, because of that, and they were talking about because of the recall in all these toys, they are collector's items for people that kept them. Like the Ken that was recalled because he was quote unquote gay Ken, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the toy.
One earring Ken, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the toy. What are the Willendorf's plans? Did we ever determine
Hey, we were talking about toys. I'm not talking about the story right now. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'll just draw Willendorf's in there.
I think it was trying to take over the world. If I recall correctly, remember when they sat Dan and they had the chalkboard and they were laying out their plan?
Yeah, they wanted
domination.
Well, no, they wanted to set up Dapadan as a puppet.
A new figurehead. Yeah, that's right, because they didn't have the original.
Okay, so I'll just draw some Willendorfs in there, and then we're gonna leave it up to Casey.
Well, we have an audience of 3.
Yeah, we have an audience. We have an audience of at least 3. Let's see. It's Lamafia.
Lamafada. He's making an amalgam. It's Lamafada. Lamafada.
I have the original art with the steel tips, says Magic Marmot.
Those are dangerous.
Yeah. So okay.
There's a monster high doll that I'm dying to get. It's only available in Europe because I guess they trust European children more. But it's like she's like a robot girl, and you open her chest, and she's like got little bits and pieces of like her heart and gears, and her boots also spark.
Nice.
But yeah, it's only sold in Europe, and so it's hard to get, and it's like $130 kind of toy. So
I'm having the Gamera from the Kaiju Council with Meow in his hand, talking about Senegod, and then I'm having some Willendorfs. Is he going over the plan?
Yes, he's telling them everything.
Okay, so that's what you're going to be drawing in your panel, Casey, is the plan. And I don't know.
We still don't know what it is.
We have no idea what the plan is. It's kind of like part 1, do X, part 2, part 3, profit.
AB.
Collect it.
I'm picturing it like those kid puzzles where it's like you spell out the name of the picture and it's like.
Yeah, we've been doing pictograms.
Like a B and then the number 4 for B4, like that kind of, but like monologuing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm
feeling monologue, but like with pictographs.
And so, yeah, I would say your caption is Meow spills the beans. And then it's going to be him going over the whole plan.
Gotcha.
To the Kaiju Council.
Okay.
So yeah, I gotta draw a Gamera here.
Panel 4, technically.
You are on panel 4. Yes.
This is probably everything that's happened in the gutters, but
Or I'm sorry.
What about the faction? The faction that was trying to get rid of the Mega Willendorf, or no, Mega Philo. They convinced Mega Philo to take over the world because that was their goal all along, was to take over the world.
So they had her like take over everything.
Well, they want her to take over everything, and that's the plan. That's why they're trying to use the Centaur to help them. And that's what Meow is spilling the beans about.
Okay. I thought the Willendorfs wanted to take everything away from Philo. right? Because if it's the land of Philo, she's in charge of it, right?
Yeah, but they want power, but they have the power now. She's just a figurehead. They've seized everything.
So we're gonna have that like it's happened off
Yeah,
screen.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think this has all happened in the gutters.
Okay,
You know,
so
in the same
it could
comic book,
be
that little space is the gutter.
it could be something that Meow goes over in his plans. Is that they've taken over. She's a figurehead now. I don't know. It's Casey. You have a hard panel. I'm sorry.
There was a coup.
There was a coup. Yeah, and so we're gonna draw a tiny little Meow now. Let's see.
Meow's in a robe, right?
Now,
Yeah, like a Chinese robe. Like the Mao suits where they have like the little frogs and the sorry, you probably don't know what frogs are. Those little knotted things, or they have like the little designs. Those are called frogs, where they're like little button knot things. In the tea house. Here, let me find a picture of it on my other phone.
You are more learned than we. We
we're for comic books. Give me a break.
Let's see. Okay, so collecting them in the Willendorf Zoo, says Magic Marmot. Kay says the evil plan is to capture them all and transfer them into tiny ceramic figurine premiums found in red rose tea boxes. That's Kay's idea. So,
I can work with that.
Could you work with that?
We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, so you're drawing the plan. I'll take some time on this one with Meow.
Let's see here.
Going over his own plans. Canadian Joke, says K-Bird.
All right, so they're actually, the one I had in mind is called a Ming jacket. It looks like that, but more understated.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But actually that works too. No, that looks great. I like that too. That's like what the eunuchs used to wear. What you've got them in right now.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bathrobe at first.
Well, I'm just kind of drawing a robish thing.
Let's see. Let me get a good look at this guy. I'm trying to find like a good close-up panel from old ones.
Yeah.
It's just like cat face, right? Did you take
a screenshot?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Screenshot
okay.
there. Sorry if that's confusing. I try to like super transparent.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure I was like, is there something wrong with my streaming?
Oh, here's a good one. I think I just found a good. Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, we got that. Okay, awesome.
Photo reference of him. Well, photo as in, like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw kind of Gamera. I don't know, like, I should draw him like probably looking down.
Sketch.
Let's see.
Click.
Yeah, there we go. So, okay. Fertility goddess thing, says Magic Marmot. Let's see.
I like his idea.
Oh, about the Canadian joke, about the evil plan is to capture them all and transfer them into tiny ceramic figurine premiums found in red rose tea boxes.
Yeah, but I didn't think that was a Canadian thing.
Let's see. The Willendorfs don't have eyes. Their heads look like kitchen scrubbers. Maybe they need seeing eye, Philo?
They've captured Centagon to get eyesight?
It could be. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking, well, you know what we could have is Philo herself is a kaiju, right? Because she's a big giant creature.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Why don't we just have her fight Santa God? Ah!
Sure.
Let's see. How are they making Santa God? You kind of smush them together. and that makes sense to God. But don't forget that Bluto has to be in Puma form.
Maybe the Kaiju Council is there for Philo.
Oh, instead of Centagon, and like they don't even care about what Meow's telling them.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be funny. They're just like, no, we're not even here for that.
Maybe they're in awe of her Kaiju power, and they want her to come with them and join the council.
I like that. That's a cool thing because especially if they're like, yeah, we're not even here for you, Meow. No, we're here for Phyla. We want her, we're extending the offer to join the council.
Meow gets passed over again.
Yeah.
They're like an HR department that's like reaching out and some paperwork.
Well, I don't know. I guess the council
Here's our
does
offer.
their dirty work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's draw some Philo hands. Let's see. How are they making Senegod? Oh, I see that the Kaiju Council is a bureaucratic mess like Congress. Says Magic
Speak
Marmot.
for your Congress.
Yeah, I know. You guys have like a working government. It's we're jealous. We really are down here. If I didn't tell you, Casey, Robin is Canadian, so she's better than us.
Oh.
I didn't say that. I was joking. If you couldn't tell, hey, look, I'm drinking Canada Dry. If you couldn't tell,
That should have been my first clue.
Did you hear the latest about the Canadian in the Olympics?
Which one?
The woman weightlifter, I think she got silver. Apparently, in between her bouts of weightlifting, she was chugging maple syrup.
That is so. I mean, it's like people are trying to be memes.
There was.
Apparently, this is normal because it's like a really good, like, quick way of getting like energy because it's like sugar. But I was just like, what the heck?
It is very Canadian. No, when I lived in Regina, I remember one of the most Canadian things that I ever did was we took fresh maple syrup and we put it on snow.
Oh yeah.
And then, took the spoon and kind of worked it around till it becomes this weird maple syrupy frozen thingy.
Yeah.
I grew up back in Massachusetts. This is what we did.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot of snow too. And Vermont also, like, that area gets a lot of maple syrup.
See, I will put you in the main screen because your drawing looks better than mine.
Look at Mao. He looks awesome.
How are they making? Let's see. It's highly bioavailable sugar, says Magic Marmot. So, yeah, I don't know. Like real maple syrup, that's like your guys' gold up there.
We had a maple syrup heist.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that like people have like stolen it and sold it bootleg, and yeah,
it's our goal to a certain extent. It sure is.
Yeah, and it's good stuff. It's good maple syrup. Like, especially if you have pancakes, you want the real stuff. Let's see. Is Meow supposed to be part of the Centagon? Maybe Meow doesn't want to be. No, this is Bluto in Puma form that I've drawn in my panel. So it is not.
He's animorph.
Yeah, he can animorph into a puma at leisure.
Hey, have you seen any ads for that show called I think it's called My Lady Jane?
No, not yet. What like network or whatever is it on?
On Prime. It's on Prime.
Oh, I should have seen it then. But we haven't.
It's like not a swashbuckling, but it's sort of like I think she's supposed to be like that Lady Jane from one of Henry's wives, but she becomes like a highway woman. But it looks. They do like a whole spoof on that whole Crocodile Dundee. Oh, this is a knife. Oh, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Like it's really like irreverent. But apparently, I was reading a review of it, and this one was saying they completely buried the lead because there's nowhere in any review has it mentioned that there's basically animorphs in it.
There's animorphs?
Yeah. She's like, this is amazing. It's like medieval time animorphs.
Well, sometimes they want you to be surprised by what's in there. Like I don't know. It I'm trying to figure out how that works. Like medieval times animorphs. Like, is it magic that makes them? Well,
I haven't watched it. You have to watch it.
Wouldn't the movie Lady
Like-
Hawk be about animorphs?
Well, I guess, but that was a curse. That's not an animorphing.
But they morphed into animals.
Yeah, but two very specific animals, and it was a curse.
Well, but the animorphs also morphed into specific.
Yeah, but didn't the animorphs have control over when they changed?
Yes and no. There was some deep writing in the Animorphs series, believe it or not. And like there was this one kid that became a hawk, but then he goes through like this post-traumatic thing and he can't become a kid again. And he kind of goes wild.
That's one. The whole thing about Lady Hawk is that it's a curse. They have no choice. They become the various animals at a very specific time because they're not allowed to see each other.
Yeah. Okay.
I keep thinking of all those like terrible horse drawings from medieval paintings and like someone turning into one of those.
Or like the cat drawings that they do. The cat drawings of the medieval paintings. Oh.
Eyes are all jacked up and they're on.
They have human noses.
Exactly. It's like no one knew how to draw babies or noses.
Horses.
Magic Marmot has asked a question: is there a drink made from fermented maple syrup, kind of like mead? And the answer is no. There's obviously maple syrup beer, but what I love most of all is maple syrup whiskey called Sortilage. For a good chunk of my life, you could only get it in Quebec, so I used to have to bring it with me when I moved. When I lived in Montreal, I had to bring it with me when I went to visit people in Ontario.
So
but now you can get it everywhere.
Okay, so it's not something that's going to be hard for me to find.
No, I don't know. It's maybe you because you're in the States, but we can now get it all over Canada. But yeah, it's delicious. Maple syrup whiskey. Like, I'm not a big drinker, but it's like in the winter it really warms you up because it's like a whiskey, and then in the summer on the rocks, it's like so beautiful. But it's kind of sweet. It's maple syrup.
It sounds like something that you're gonna have to put in my honey garlic box.
Yeah.
Honey garlic sauce box.
I don't know. Am I allowed to ship alcohol across the border?
I don't know. We'll look into it. And I don't know. I'll send you something that you can't get up there. I don't know what you can't get.
That would be like the only my only thing I'd be worried about is I don't know if I can ship alcohol across the border.
Well, yeah, we'll look into it. Aston Martin, hello. Let's see, is there I see you've played an office spoonie before, says Magic Marmot. Aston Martin says, hey, medieval times animorphs and turning into a snail on the margins, maple grog, and ooh, I don't think so. Magic Marmot says, ooh, do you make fermented garlic honey?
No, she's talking about something else.
Talk all over the place. I want to think.
Yeah, well, honey garlic sauce is like something that I've only found in Canada, and it's delicious. Yeah, I can't describe to you how great it is, aside from the fact that you just have to try it.
I don't know. I just think it's really normal for us. Honey garlic.
I know to you, but to me, it is foreign and exotic. So let's see. Okay, I am on panel 5. And so
taking a while on this cat confession.
That's okay. No, you can take some time because I'm leapfrogging over you to panel 5, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. So we're good.
Check it in.
All right. So what happens? What happens after he does the confessions? We have what? They're not there for him, right? Is they're there for Philo?
That's a good call.
Yeah, so the Kaiju Council rejects Meow and approach Philo to join them. Okay.
Have you read what Magic Marmot wrote?
Let's see. I don't think so to the alcohol. I'm fairly sure at a personal level that's a no. And then I make it here: local honey, local garlic. Ooh, super healthy, great on pizza.
He makes his own fermented garlic honey. Wow.
Yeah. Let's see, the Kaiju Council. And let me capitalize Kaiju. Council ignores Meow and approaches Philo to join them. Okay, now I'll figure out how I'm going to fit this into the area. Let's see. So Aston Martin says that sounds crazy, and it's easy, says Magic Marmot. Talking about
but why do you have to? How and why do you ferment it? Why couldn't you just have garlic honey sauce?
I think the probiotic element, like the healthy.
I don't know. Maybe it makes the flavors kind of join
garlic's
together.
already pretty healthy, right?
I think it's a matter of like just going extra with it.
Dale says, "Oh my God, nice meow." And then Kay says, "Is Philo inclined to join them?" I don't know.
Right.
But
Casey's
yeah.
right.
Let's see. Okay, so we'll
It's
just
the
have
lactobacteria, says Magic Marmot. It's a great cough medicine. Yeah, I'd imagine all that honey and garlic. Woo!
See, I'm on TikTok. I remember some of these things sometimes.
Let's see. Lactobacteria sounds like a lewd Osmosis Jones character, says Aston Martin.
It's the porno we never saw from Osmosis Jones.
The nightclub scene, you know.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have
that hot virus over there.
I'm gonna take over the big screen for a second. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Meow yeeted out of the hand.
I wish I was just thinking in my head. It's too bad that he's so small, because it'd be great if it was just like, Godzilla just takes his hand and pushes Mao away. It's just like, and they're not even looking at him; they're just walking away from him.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna have him yeeted.
He's yeeted.
Yeah, kind of out of the way. Yeah, so I'll put him there. So that's just kind of where I'm headed in this panel. I'll go back to Casey in the main panel, in the main frame, because her drawing looks better than mine.
Dan would like to know where we would see Casey's work.
Oh, where would you see Casey's work?
This right? Like,
yes,
it's our 4.
And Dale also said, "Oh my God, nice meow."
So I have it right here. Casey Craddock. Her Instagram is Casey Bug Creations. She says she has a bunch of drawings on there. Working on a website under construction. Has been super busy with her animation work, and I didn't know if you wanted to talk about what you've been doing for PBS or.
Well, yeah. I'm one of those. I dip my toe in the art, and then dip my other toe. I have extra toes, not the abnormal amount of toes, but going into art world and animation production. So I've been a producer, director, art lead, storyboard artist, miscellaneous.
Yeah, and started with humble beginnings in caricature. And you used to knock out these amazing drawings. We both worked. Casey and I met at MCAD. We were both students there at the same time, and I think we even graduated the same year. But we also both worked in the Mall of America. I airbrushed T-shirts, and she was a caricature artist on the other side of the Nickelodeon zone.
I actually never made it into the mall. I just stayed in the park there, Valley Fair.
Yeah.
I always ended up getting those shifts. So.
Oh, really? You never made it to the mall? I thought you were there once.
Well, that's where I met Tom Richmond originally.
Yeah.
To have my portfolio review, and he just kind of thumbed through it, and he's like, "All right, here you go. You're in."
Well, I mean, your work has always spoken for itself. Let's see. Aston Martin says 12 hours goes by fast. Just got out of a Universal Island of Adventure early 9 to 9. Good for you. And then that sounds cool. Lots of hats, some of them fezzes. Magic Marmot says get some local honey and local garlic cloves. Peel the garlic cloves, bruise them, add them to the honey, put in a mason jar with a finger-tight top, and let it sit for a month. And then the Nickelodeon Zone says Aston Martin. And then Dale says Amber was a shirt squirter, Pashis Iwata. Oh, we use the Iwata. Yeah, we use the Iwata.
What does the Nickelodeon Zone mean? I don't get it.
That was the like theme park in the center of the Mall of America. Like the Mall of America is this big giant circle, and then in the center of it is this big domed area that they literally have roller coasters in. And so it's like a tiny little theme park that you can walk through if you just want to walk across, but they also had stuff like food and, rides and, me airbrushing your t-shirt. So yeah, I did do that.
Well, people would just go up to you and be like, I want a sunset on my t-shirt, and you'd airbrush a sunset?
It would be like, okay, my size is an extra large. Yeah, I want it on white, and then I would grab an extra large and I would airbrush the sunset on the t-shirt, and then I would sell it to them. Yeah. So they got a new t-shirt from us. I wouldn't airbrush like their
like they're wearing it.
No, I figured that much.
Yeah. Aston Martin says the Nickelodeon Zone is what happens when you're busy making other plans. And then Dale says Casey did caricatures at a mall. Did you work for Tom Richmond's company? So yeah, she did. Yeah. That's your humble beginnings.
Carney life, yeah. And then I ended up going to Florida for Fossil Arts after that, and then was there for quite a while, and a little bit in LA as well. So,
yeah, I saw you in Florida once. When I was out there to visit family, I remember visiting you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
the older I get, the more everything becomes like blurry stick figure memory. I think that's just how my brain is deteriorating.
Yeah, my brother was talking about
paint smells.
My brother was talking about how he doesn't remember anything before his iPhone. Because his iPhone like constantly reminds him every day of like things that happen. He goes, "Oh yeah, that happened," right? And then I'll remind him of something like, I don't remember that.
Man, that's
weird.
Yeah. Let's see. God, are there still shirt squirters? There are, Dale. Magic Marmot, yes, but they're more rare. And then supplies kills brain cells, and then art supplies kill brain cells.
Yeah. We also used a lot of that. What was it called? Simple Green, the cleaning fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably took off 10 years of my life just cleaning out my Iwata clips.
Yeah.
For years with that.
Yeah, because you guys used Iwata too in your characters.
Yeah. And then we had the Tom Richmond bottles that he made himself. So when I went to other companies, I brought my bottles, and I was the talk of the town, bringing my custom Tom Richmond paint bottles.
You guys know who this person is? I've never heard of him. Who
Tom
he just
Richmond,
run all the caricaturists in every mall in America?
Not every single one, but the man has many franchised locations where he teaches the artist his method of caricature.
Yeah.
And so you do his method of caricature, and he's got locations all over the US. He's like the caricature guy.
He does the Mort Drucker style.
Yeah.
Back when he was with Mad Magazine.
Yeah, I know who Mort Drucker is. Yeah.
So that's when Tom Richmond was with Mad Magazine. So he would do like the Mort Drucker style comics.
Okay.
Back when he was still with them, because they don't really make anything new anymore. Mad Magazine, they just reprint everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of adopted the Mort style.
I'm gonna look him up. I'm wondering if he's the guy that used to do those gags next to Sergio.
Let's see. We got some talking. Art supplies, says Aston Martin, cries and broken HB pencil. Dale says, "Yay, Iwata." Tom Richmond was known as a mad artist, and then Aston Martin says, "What's the difference between character and caricature?"
Do you want that one, or do you want me to?
You are the one that was the caricature artist, and I can draw characters, but my explanation would be it's a cartoon that looks like someone. Wow.
It's the difference between like a
Oh
character.
yeah, he's the one that did all the famous ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, with, a character is more of a broad term, which it could be a book character, it could be a physical like character sheet model from like a cartoon. It could be a character like in a live action. So that describes more of like a being, like a whole personality that's part of a storyline. A caricature, spelled with just a C, no H, is an exaggerated illustration or depiction of an existing person or thing. So the idea is like, it's not just about what you make big or small, it's about the relationship between the exaggerated features of like a character. So like a good example, like if you were to draw one guy and then another drawing of that guy next to his girlfriend, he might look different in both drawings. Even though it's the same guy, you might exaggerate his height compared to like his girlfriend if she's short, and you might choose to elongate him by relation. So it's like you're taking the surrounding elements, and you're creating like the features of the face and the body.
But isn't there an element of exaggerating the noted features of the face? If somebody has a big nose, you kind of want to give them a big nose in the character.
Exactly.
Right?
Or you shrink something else by relation. So like, for instance, if you draw a big nose on someone, it's obviously going to like shrink other things automatically, but you might choose to shrink things first and like keep the nose normal. So like, there's ways you can kind of push and pull the exaggerated features to like manipulate how people are perceiving that person. And they always say like the 90% of the likeness is in the eyes. So like if you get the eyes down in, and that is actually why we used to always draw the eyes first.
Yeah.
On Richmond style, is because you could draw like someone with big bushy eyebrows. The first thing you do is you touch that piece of paper and you're like,
where are the eyes at?
And his whole family's behind him like, like that's, and it's that goes a long way. It's a little bit of showmanship too. People freak out once you draw the eyes in there. But like, there's a lot of celebrities like distinctive eyes, like Steve Buscemi. Buscemi?
Yeah,
Buscemi.
Yeah, famous eyes. If I drew those eyes on a piece of paper and nothing else, you know who it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that. And then you just got to find that thing, But
so Dale says Tom has a great book on caricature.
He does.
He told me he didn't make much for his Mad articles. And then Aston Martin says, oh, okay. Dale says a caricature is a distorted portrait, often for humorous intent. Political cartoons are known for their caricatures. Aston Martin says, yeah, that's been the theme of the day. Plenty of caricature stuff at the park today. I draw Marilyn Monroe a lot, and the Pavilion had one of her hyper exaggerated, which is funny because outside of her most famous photos, she looks nothing like that, especially in the ones noted no makeup. Dale says a caricaturist often refers to an artist who draws caricature from a live model. An illustrator can draw caricature on their desk. A caricaturist often draws a live model live in front of an audience. And then Magic Marmot says, when did Philo turn into Philo after being caught in the sushi net? Oh no, Philo and Philo are two different people. Philo is the big giant kaiju thing in the land of Philo, and Philo is a tiny little Philo who is human size. And I think I should probably make the Cliff Notes available to people. I feel like they're not done yet, but I don't know where to put them on my website. And so I got to figure that out so that people can just find them very easily and just click on them and go, oh, that's what we're talking about. So I don't have to try and keep everything in my head when people ask questions. Let's see. And then back in a few, says Dale. He's probably checking out
See you later, Dale.
Cinema Insomnia. His cat Huey is a producer of Cinema Insomnia. And
What does he do? What does Huey do for the show?
Huey is his cat.
Yeah, I got that part.
He donates to the show as one of, like, I believe, the patrons or something, but he does it in his cat's name. And so that's why Huey is the producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, so we're going to do this. We're going to have him going, yeet. You know what? I'm even going to say it. I'm even going to put yeet up here. Yeet. Yeah, I've been playing this game, Fights in Tight Spaces. I think I told you about it. And I got one of the achievements that's called Yeet. And it's for throwing all of the people off the board. And so in a round. I was very proud of myself. Let's see. Aston Martin says, at Dale, at Casey, thank you for the information. Discourse, by the way, I appreciate the expertise. And so, yeah, definitely. I appreciate any kind of artistic talk. And so, I think Robin is resting her eyes.
Yes, she is.
Yes. Did you have a tough day at work?
Oh my god, it was insane. Non-stop. Barbecue season, 2 weeks before school starts. Everyone's kind of getting all their picnicking and meat eating out of their way.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me, I gotta get my daughter signed up for school.
2 weeks?
I know. Down here, some of them are even 1 week.
Yeah, well, I follow this teacher in the States, and she's like in Texas, I think, and they went to school at the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to get on that. But Ian is teaching this year in not Denver Public. He is working for a company called KIP that does charter schools that are funded by like public funds.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and so they handle these charter schools in like low income areas and produce results that are different because they're handling things different. And it's interesting. It's just so he is working for this charter school now, and they don't start for like another 2 weeks. So I don't know, but I'm sure like there's other schools that are at different times. Let's see. That kind of looks like Gamera going yeet. Let's see, and we'll just go. And then I think Philo's gonna be appreciating the attention.
I feel like you should have the other kaiju kind of crowding around her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I'm drawing a bunch of kaiju.
Oh, you've done it before.
That's true, but that episode I only did 3 panels. I'm doing these crowds of kaiju.
Maybe 2 more.
I showed you. Well, okay, maybe I'll have another kaiju back there. But yeah, I've shown you the comic where it's the writer and the artist, and the writer's like, I love comics because I can just say that there's a huge crowd of aliens attacking, and then the artist is like, I'll kill you.
Pretty funny.
By the way, my panel is the statues are the goddess statue that they're turning into.
The Willendorf statues are, I guess they would be. Are they turning them into Willendorfs? Is that the plan that you came up with?
No, I'm confused.
Casey,
They want the Centigods so they can take over the world. But the thing is the Kaiju Council's there for Philo because she's more powerful than anyone realizes.
Yeah, well, I think that it doesn't matter what Meow says because they ignore him anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so do whatever you want in the panel.
I was going off of Kay's suggestion.
Yeah, well, I mean,
tiny ceramic figurines from the Red Rose tea boxes. That's what.
Okay, yeah, that works. But like I said,
I thought figurines and then I thought the statues and I got them mixed up. That's
okay. Yeah, so I guess there could be tiny Willendorfs in the tea boxes. I don't know what tiny statues do they have.
I remember like the little buffalo. Let's see. I'm picture googling the little figurines from the teas now.
Reference is encouraged on the show, so it is perfectly okay.
Animals, man, this is like scratching a recess in my brain.
Let's see, back in a few. Casey Bug, thank you for the discourse. Future panel idea: Meow lands and swears revenge for this insult. Ooh, I like that. Aston Martin says "I rester," and then Magic Marmot says "Excellent, Ian." And then good for Ian and love it. I have a cat and a little monkey. No Willendorfs.
Okay.
No Willendorfs.
So cat.
Wait, he has a monkey.
Yeah, one of the little figurines from the tea boxes.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she had a real monkey for a second. You never know.
No, there's like a little.
Let's see. Yeah, Kay confirms that it's the Red Rose tea figures.
It's a little.
Let's see. I guess she would be like, does she love the idea or does she hate the idea of being approached by the kaiju?
I think she loves it. Someone drew her. You drew her with their hands up to her face in happiness. Yeah. That's perfect.
Okay, so she loves
That's like a total like Sally Fields. You love me. You really love me.
Okay,
I don't know who you are, but I'll go with you anywhere.
You're working on let's see. You're working on what, panel 4 right now?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm jumping to panel 6.
Gotta draw these little figurines. And an elephant. Let's see.
Okay, and just to let you know, we are at 8:07 my time, which would be 9:07 your time. So, just giving you a heads up where we're at.
Cool.
Okay, so let us do the next panel and try to figure out what we're gonna write. So, okay, so you have them doing this. They reject Meow. They do, they approach Philo, and then Magic Marmot suggested a panel of Meow landing and swearing revenge upon them. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, are you going to do that one?
Yeah. Oh, did you want to do the swearing revenge panel?
I kind of got a taste for drawing him in a ham, and I would like to draw him if that's cool.
Okay, so I think that should be panel 6, so I'll change mine to panel 7.
Cool.
All right, and then so yeah, you can definitely do the revenge panel after this. So what happens after Philo is approached for joining the council? Does she join the council? I mean, she seems to love the idea. Like, would the Willendorfs hate this?
Conditions.
I don't. Does she have to go through like a hazing? Would she be thinking of joining the council for power or to tease them or what? What would her motivations be for joining the council? She just FOMO? I don't know. Help me out, chat. Let's see. So,
midlife crisis, shit going on an adventure.
Yeah, so
she like a very old being.
Something deeper, says Magic Marmot. So Philo goes deep into her childhood to consider if she'll join the council. New opportunity, says Magic Marmot.
Like a childhood flashback with kaiju that were like the cool kids in school, and she wanted to be part of that.
I love that.
The popular girls are like chewing gum and like being, and it's like, oh, I wish I could be that cool.
Let's see. Philo flashes back to her childhood, and so I like the idea of the kaiju or the cool kids, and she's like, that's why she wants to join. She wants to be part of the cool kids. I think I'm going to draw her with glasses and braces.
That's exactly what I was hoping.
Yeah. Is she's gonna have glasses and braces and like a little book. Let's see. Parking space, says Aston Martin. Oh my gosh, I love the little figurines. Let's see. Okay, so Philo flashes back to her childhood. So we're gonna have her thinking back. She's gonna be thinking back. Yeah, let's see. You know, of her going.
I'm gonna like draw tea bags in this box.
Yeah, we'll do this. We'll have her right there.
Man, that's a lot going on in a very small part of a picture. Maybe we'll do one of those things where you get like bigger and bigger and bigger.
Having to shrink things down, like
yeah, exactly. We're going into the teacup, and then we're going into the sugar cube, and then we're going into.
Oh man, this is like doodle inception going on here.
Yeah, exactly what it is. Doodle inception.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do this, and then so like we got the. I guess we'll have Godzilla. We haven't drawn Godzilla in a while, so let's draw up Godzilla.
Or do Mothman. That's so easy. He's just a shape with big red eyes.
Oh, what? Mothra?
Yeah, Mothra.
Yeah, I could do Mothra. Yeah, I guess I could do silhouettes.
Looking, Mothra would totally be like a popular mean girl, pink clad.
Let's see. We already had Manila too. That was Godzilla's like adopted son.
Find if you can like sneak in a Godzuki in there, like the cartoon version where he was super freaking annoying.
Oh gosh. Give me a second. I'm doing silhouettes for these critters, and I'm gonna have them smoking behind the bathrooms.
I love it
because they're cool, right?
Like a Freaks and Geeks style kind of set.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't know. There was kids that smoked at my school behind the bathrooms. You know, I'll put a little bathroom dude on the door. Let's see. The cool kids have a T-Bird, Ford Thunderbird. Weren't T-Birds the gang in Greece? And they're cars that got made from 55 until 05. Yes, I know the T-Bird. The one that they made in 05 though was it was a, I guess you could say like a remake of the T-Bird because it was a modern engine and a modern frame and stuff, but they had a retro design for it. So like you got in and it had like old style dials and everything, but they were digital. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so we do that. We'll have Mothra. Let's see. Let's go back to Mothra. Yeah. We'll have Mothra down here. The big Mothra eyes. Let's see. They're cars that got made from 55 to 05, right? Yeah. And then Casey, I just realized that there is someone behind you.
That would be my husband.
Yes. That is Nathan Craddock. And he has taken good care of my friend. So he has the approval. He's been vetted. Yeah.
He built the Tom Servo that you also see behind me. So.
Yes, there's a Tom Servo back there. I don't know if you can see it hanging off to one side. Here, let me put you in the big window so people can see the Tom Servo.
There's also, speaking of Godzilla, we do have a foreign movie poster of him.
Oh, excellent. Yes. Yes, so there is definitely geekdom in the office there. Mine, on the other hand, is just kind of my living room.
That pillow we got too. Yeah, give me that pillow. Godzilla's being drawn right now, but this I had to design our office according. It's got some
yes, it's Manila.
There you go.
Oh, there he is.
There
he is using his tiny Godzilla breath.
Face only a mother could love.
Oh yes. So yeah, so let's. I gotta draw tiny Philo now with glasses. Let's see, she's gonna have like Dilbert glasses. I mean, not that I like Dilbert, but just because that's what they look like to me. And then I guess I'm gonna give her.
That says a level of nerdiness.
And then I'll give her pigtails with her big frizzy hair.
I like the braces idea for sure.
Yeah. So I'll give her pigtails with her big frizzy hair, and she's going to be back here with braces. And let's see, those are dope, says Aston Martin, by the way. Love those figurines, says Kay. Oh, wow, says Aston Martin. Casey, I just realized someone's behind you. We already covered that. And then I love him. I'm not his mother. Yeah. Your meow is awesome, by the way. I'm going to put you in the main window because
I was, cool. I instantly thought of like a hammy. I love a hammy villain. Anything where I can really push that that oh, look at me face.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good ham.
Let's see. Okay, so let's do a good book. She's like, oh, this is my book, and then we'll have her kind of doing this down here. So yeah, I'll just do that, and I'll kind of have it like that. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we'll do that. Let's see. I have no cat in cat cam either, so I should probably turn off cat cam. Let's see. I love you. It's not my mother. The beans. Yes, the beans.
I just really wanted an excuse to draw two beans.
Yeah. I mean, having a cat character does give you a good excuse to do that, though.
Yeah.
So let's see. We'll have her thinking back to her childhood. Maybe she'll reject him out of revenge or something like that. I mean, so far she's been very nice. She's been kind of a positive force in the world, in the story of Philo.
You can always throw a diary in there or something.
Yeah.
Venting about
Dear Diary.
Social stuff.
Well, if she attended kaiju school, Kaiju High.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do Philo. She's thinking back. And I'll do, now I gotta draw dork Philo. This is gonna be fun. Okay. Let's see. Kaiju Seminary, says Aston Martin. Yeah, so let's give her that, and then we're gonna have her kind of having braces. Let's see. I watched that, says Skix. Hi, Skix. How you doing? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
I don't know who that is. Have they been on before?
He's popped in. They popped in once in a while. I believe it's they. I want to be respectful and stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's they. And then Magic Marmot says, thinking about Philo and the Willendorfs, maybe Armand can sneak in and release them from the net because he's colluding with the spies and they have a secret purpose that is yet to be revealed. And then familiar with them, says Aston Martin. Yeah, I kind of like that idea that Armand comes in. Armand is an octopus.
I guess Armed Man, is that the...
Yes, you got my stupid pun.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you got my stupid pun. And so Armand is an octopus that has many jobs. He's you can draw him however you want, but he's just an octopus. So, sometimes he has a beak, sometimes he doesn't. I try and draw him like a realistic octopus, but we've had more cartoony versions.
Panel 4 is done. It's done. And 6 is when panel 6 falls for his revenge.
Yeah, you get panel 6, and it's where he lands and swears revenge. So your caption is that Meow swears revenge.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Skix says yes they, and I've been Twitch for many years. And Aston says off his Opta model, and then Jeremy says hello, I made it. Hi, Jeremy. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, Skix and I, we originally started doing comics on Keen Space back like forever ago, back in the 90s, like early 2000s. And so they did a comic that was called Psychic Dyslexic Institute. And then I did No Stereotypes. And so, yes, it was so long ago. And so, yeah, Skix also puts together like different kinds of theater shows where there'll be like variety shows and stuff, and just a variety of things. And I believe also has a podcast. And so, very, very busy person. Yeah. And so, yeah, I guess I know a lot of weird people. You know, but I know people that aren't afraid of being called weird. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, and then there's our little like bathroom man. Let me put me in the big one since you're just starting out.
Yeah.
Okay, do that. And then I love it. And then weird people are the best, says Magic Marmot. Yes, I would agree. Weird people are the best. Because you know it. I don't know. It's like I think about people like Sir Isaac Newton, who was described by many who met him as being a very strange person, right? And he probably was on the autism spectrum. Like Casey and I were talking about it earlier today, about historical people that might have been on the spectrum. And I honestly believe that Sir Isaac Newton was one of those people. And so what past generations might call weird, we now go, oh, okay, I understand why that person's that way. Is they're you know, they think differently. They are neurodivergent, as it were. Let's see, weird people are the best. Best viewers on delishorter.com. Okay, sorry. No, no, you're getting banned. Bye. Goodbye. And then Aston Martin says we need some weird mods going on. And then Magic Marmot says I myself am strange and unusual. And yet, yes. So I banned that guy. I banned the dude. And so, oh dear, what happened? No, it was just a bot, you know, saying like check this stuff out. So, yeah. Gosh, like. You said that you're doing a project right now for PBS?
Me, yes. I was overseeing an animation for Hispanic Heritage Month. It was a quick little spot, 50-second animation. We just delivered. We do these little holiday beats that usually make it to like YouTube and stuff.
Very cool.
Celebrate certain holidays, like anywhere between 15 to 30 seconds. And there's like a list of 7 holidays or so. So we just delivered that. I ended up storyboarding it, as well as overseeing the animation. And we got one more left for Native American Heritage.
Nice.
It's not the official name. You can click it.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I'm so proud of you. Like I had something.
Well, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
All I did was send you a job link. You're the one that got yourself the job.
That's the thing. Like in Hollywood, there's so many talented people, but if you know the right people or have the right connection, that can make or break people, right? So
yeah,
think of all the people who are super talented who try their best out there, and then it doesn't work out. And what's great is that Amber just happened to pass me a lead that ended up being my first industry job, which led to multiple others after that, you know?
Well, I think what I said is go forth and be successful, and you've done that. And so if I did anything, it was just going, I know someone who can do this job. And
that's
just,
all
here
it
you
takes
go.
sometimes, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give myself credit for what I bring to the table, but like, you know, don't disvalue what you brought to me, which was this like opportunity, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad I was able to help. You know, I wasn't living in LA at the time. And so it just, I knew they wanted someone local. And you were there, and I think you were working at Universal Studios as a caricature artist.
LA Zoo.
LA Zoo as a caricature artist. And you were, at the time, you were talking about, like, I don't know how I'm going to make rent this month. I don't know what's going to happen. Oh my gosh, they just cut my hours at work.
When I first like made the decision to you know, put my hobo satchel, the little, you know, the stick and the bandana, and like make my way out to the big Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I lined up a job, which I found out 5 days before my flight. It was weekends only, but I had already made all this commitment.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, ugh. So the only reason I ended up getting a job at Universal is that I just showed up at the park one day because I couldn't get the guy on the phone to like at least hear me out because I needed to work. I go to City Walk. I lie and say I have a job interview so I don't have to pay for parking because I had no money.
Yeah.
I walk into City Walk. I go to the first booth I see and I say, hey, can you call the guy who owns this? I'll wait here.
Yeah.
So because of that, you know, an hour or two later, he shows up and then I have an interview. And I got the job because I was just so aggressive about it.
You know that sometimes you have to do that. One of my favorite. Oh wait, I gotta read what people are doing. Let's see. Congrats to Casey Bug for working for PBS, and then Bot Sucks says Jeremy Mercury, good stuff. My big thing is is people automatically think neurodivergent means antisocial or unable to be social, which is not, and that's true. Dale says yo. Magic Marmot says I used to work for PBR, but then I discovered money can buy more than cheap beer. And Jeremy says that's incredible. Skix says, hey, guy in back is watching Spaceballs, which is excellent. And Magic Marmot says I'm neurodivergent, which I am as well. Thank you for sharing. Stick and Bindle. Useless trivia. The stick and bandana bundle is called a bindle. And beat me to it. One of my favorite words. Also called a blanket stick. And then also called the carpet bag. And then, disabled people deserve more credit where credit is due. And what the heck am I looking at? Yeah, I had to, you got to let chat know that you love them and you appreciate that they are here watching you. Another word for hobo is bindle stiff.
That sounds very old timey and I love it.
A bindle stiff?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, there should probably be like graffiti on this wall. So let's do something textury. Yeah, let's do we'll do noisy knit, and then we'll have, yeah, I feel like there should be graffiti on this wall. And then, like some kind of stuff. Little bit of like brick at the bottom, because it's a public school, right? Hey,
there you go.
It needs some love. Let's see. What the heck am I looking at? He says, and it's Philo flashing back to her childhood, and so
you're referring to my cat butthole that's in the picture.
Oh, I guess that as well. Yeah, I guess if that's a cat butthole. Let's see. Another word for hobos, bindle stiff. I love old hobo, carny, criminal gang slang, and realizing the hair of young Philo has similarities to the Willendorfs, just a different style. Oh no, that was a Spaceballs joke. And then a bindle is different from a carpet bag. A carpetbagger is different from a hobo. Well, but I thought the carpet bag was the same thing, where it's just bindled in on the stick, and they, I could be very wrong. It's possible. It's possible.
It's one of those trivia facts that I am not up to date on.
Yeah.
has not made its way into my everyday, you know.
So you're drawing panel 6,
Mhm.
which means I'm going to jump to panel 8. Oh no, we're at 8:30. This is the last panel. So yeah, you're wherever you're at with it. You know, you can finish up. Do you want to stay on to finish the panel?
I'll wrap this up.
Okay, yeah, excellent. I just want to make sure that we're like doing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then Word says Aston Martin. Skick says, I think carpet bag is like Mary Poppins bag. And then Magic Marmot says, we're at time. I'm good with keeping going. This is fun. Yeah. Where are you at in your panel? Because you're inking. I see that.
This is he's getting booted, but I wanted him to be he bounced.
Okay, because I want to slide you over.
Oh, am I?
I want to slide you over. You're not centered. There you go. That'll get you.
Sorry.
Yeah, Meow falls and swears revenge. Oh, I like the bounce. Oh, that's a nice touch.
He's kind of rubbery, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He just, and then just like toe beans, there'll be toe beans, there'll be butt.
Excellent.
And a little fist.
As there should be. Like, would he be like flipping them off, or do you think just mad shaking of the fist?
It was just more an extended pointer finger, but I could do a middle finger. I feel like that gives it a little spice. What do y'all think?
Let's see. No, carpet bag is a soft suitcase made of a segment of an old Oriental rug, a popular, inexpensive suitcase carried by Northerners who went to post-Civil War South to screw the locals out of their dough. And then good action, says Kay. So yeah, Casey's an amazing artist. She always has been. And when we were in class, she would draw just other people in class. And, other random things, her farting herself like up, just weird drawings. Lots of drawings of you.
I drew myself a lot. Lots of weird stuff. I liked drawing other people's characters from like their own projects in like the grossest, fartiest, boogeriest way. Like especially if it was like really handsome anime men.
Mm-hmm.
That someone like probably developed when they were in high school, and they have this extensive lore about some handsome werewolf husband with magic powers or something. And then I would take him and I just give him like a bulbous Ren and Stimpy butt and just fart cloud and picking his nose. And it was my version of like flipping your eyelids inside out to make the girl on the bus go, eh!
Yeah.
Like,
because people would be like, "Oh, that's not how my character should look."
Yeah, it was just like, stop it. Yeah, and I just lived for that.
Do you ever go on Reddit Gets Drawn and like draw the people randomly?
I should. I kind of just used OkCupid for that back when I was single.
Dale asks if you are influenced by Wacky Packs and Garbage Pail Kids.
Garbage Pail Kids for sure. I leaned a lot into the underground comics of the 60s and 70s when I was in school. That was like the stuff that really spoke to me. In fact, I even still have my printouts from one of our teachers' classes from like the New Adventures of Jesus Christ or the Seven Furry Freak Brothers. My bookshelf next to me has those printouts like wedged in between other books that are just weird and old and kooky. Which, I'm just going to have to figure out how to explain that to my daughter when she's older.
Yeah, that is like, I got loose paper. That's kind of strange.
Oh, speaking of, before I get too distracted, speaking of old books, and we were talking about Tom Richman's how-to book, I got a copy of this. This was what I learned how to draw cartoons from. Like, I got this when I was 5 years old. If this brings back any memories for anyone, this one here.
Let me put you in the big window.
There you go.
So we can look at that.
This is a classic. This is a copy I got where someone definitely cut things out for references, but Yeah, chew on this, guys. Look at this.
Dale says, I got that, Jack Ham. I have one book by Jack Ham that goes over still life drawing technique for landscapes, where you hold the pencil out and you have to bring it to the page. Yeah.
Look at how, and if you're someone who loves a lot of little doodles, like this this is like brain crack.
Oh,
I could stare at this for hours.
Yeah, Dover Books printed that. You can still get it, says Dale.
And it smells like a good old book smell too.
Mm-hmm.
It's an added bonus if you're weird like me.
Yeah, we had a flood a couple of maybe about a year ago now. We had a flood where our neighbors upstairs, their water heater went, and then like the emergency number wasn't working for the complex, and it was like 16 hours of water coming into our apartment and right into my library. And so I lost so many books on the bottom shelf of one of my shelves because they just absorbed all the water. And so like I had some like J. Scott Campbell sketchbooks and stuff that were only released at San Diego Comic-Cons that are now like, if you try and replace them on Amazon, it's like $200-$300 for the book.
Wait.
Yeah.
That reminds me, speaking of weird random finds, I have a Tintin up there.
Nice.
Done by, I'm going to butcher this name, Anki Bilal.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Dale's, of course, asking the important question of, are you into Sergio Aragonis? Yeah. And then Jeremy just noticed your Tom Servo. Yeah. Case is nice. Dover Books printed that. You can still get it. Yeah. It's very cool. Okay, let's finish up with Meow. So I'm not keeping you too long because you got a child.
Oh, she's sleeping. I'm good. It's a weekend. Husband took care of that. Sergio, I have met a handful of times. Nicest guy on the planet.
Here, I'll put you in the main window so that you're not in the big window anymore. I'll put your art in the main window. And I'm gonna say goodnight to Robin. Good night, Robin. She works hard, and anybody who hasn't tuned into the show before, Robin works a very physical job during the day, and she has like a 15 to 16 hour day prior to doing this after. So once in a while she'll fall asleep on us, and I hold it not against her because
I like the
she's
idea
good people.
that it goes from something she participates in to gentle white noise that lulls her to sleep.
Yes, and she's good people, and we love her. And again, she knows so much about comics. It blows my mind. She knows like who inked for who, and who like was who's ghost artist. It's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, he has like little hearts on the bottom for his beans.
I thought it'd be cute little.
Yeah.
I think it's a little creative liberty.
Yeah, bless her, says Aston Martin. And then and she gets to sleep, and Jeremy says, good night, Robin. Skix says, I submitted a Draw Me once, got an invite to spend money on some courses. Oh, yes, of course. Can you draw this turtle? And then you draw the turtle, and it doesn't matter how good you draw the turtle. They're like, you're good enough to take our classes.
I worked with guys back in Florida who literally learned from that exact, like the classic Draw the Turtle course. And, of course, they're amazing, artists, very good with realism. But
there's things I learned in school that I definitely would not have learned had I not gone to MCAD. But I feel like the majority of things that I learned in school, I could have learned on my own.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
For
Famous Artist School, says Dale. That's the name of the school where you draw the turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like real people feet. I am not well versed in cat feet.
What is the thing you think you couldn't learn outside of school? Things that I feel like you couldn't learn outside of school was exactly how nepotistic and really incestuous like high paying jobs are. because people will hire their friends and their family for things, and there's a lot of networking that goes on in college that you don't do when you're not in college, and you're not really exposed to that. I was a poor kid growing up, so I wasn't really exposed to a lot of like that kind of nepotism or anything. Like I know Casey, but I know some people that work in really great jobs for people. I know writers for late night and stuff, but these are people that have gotten to those paths or gotten to those places through different paths. And so a lot of paths are cut off by nepotism. And that I feel like is a hard lesson to learn outside of school. Let's see. I took a nighttime U of Minnesota class from that artist, Tippy, good teacher, total commercial artist. And I'm sorry, says Aston Martin. Dale says art schools typically don't teach you about the business of art, or their knowledge of the art business is dated by 10 years. Yes and no. I mean, art schools are on the forefront of technology in art. And so like we were using Cintiqs and 3D printers and stuff at MCAD before those were common things in people's homes for art. And so that allowed us to kind of be ahead of the curve. But like I remember taking an illustration class where my instructor knew how to do everything traditionally, and it was the first year she had to teach Illustrator, and she didn't know how to teach Illustrator. They had given her a packet of how to teach it, and she literally just made copies of the packet and handed it out to us and said, learn Illustrator.
Yeah, brother.
And so it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And then art schools typically don't teach you about the business of art. There was a Bachelor of Science course at MCAD that I took a lot of classes for, that I'm glad I did, because it did talk about the business of art and management. And like Casey, even though she's a fantastic artist, has done a lot of like the boring stuff in like show running things, like I'm setting up your Slack.
Oh, hey, do you want a whole Twitch stream about Airtable?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Ollie, I could talk about Google Documents and
Google Docs. They've saved me in the past. And
I have a certain way I like to do my Excel sheets that are color coded and are
I blew someone's mind when I worked in an office, showing them that you could do frames in Excel. Right? The fact that you can have like this column here and all the information there, and then you can just scroll wherever you are and that column stays there, right? Yeah, blew her mind. She had no idea. She would constantly just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Drop down menus, I love a good drop down menu.
And not only that, but it's like Excel, anything IT, anything technology you want to know, chances are somebody's ran into the same problem you've had, or they've decided to explain how to get out of that problem somewhere on the internet. There's a video, there's a how to do this video. And so with Excel, there's so much resources available for formulas, for pivot tables, for all these sorts of things that you can do in Excel and in Google Sheets. And a lot of people, I think, find those programs daunting and don't learn it. Yeah,
it's almost like there's too much. Like, where do you start?
Yeah. And then SJSU was teaching stats and stripping in Wax passed up after Max took over. Aston Martin says, hee, I said the 6-1 thing today. And then Jeremy says, Google Docs are based and helpful. Dale always try to Google the answer first, and Magic Marmot says YouTube University. Yes, mm-hmm. I've attended YouTube University. It's nice. It's good stuff. And so I'm going to put you in the big window down here because you're drawing. And then this way people can see that Nathan is watching Spaceballs still behind you, which is also proved. I approve of that message.
He watches a lot of people watching stuff like that for the first time, like reaction videos.
Yeah.
That's our latest kick right now?
I'm usually not like into reaction videos so much, but there was one the other day that had me rolling in my aisles. It was a guy who's a white Southern guy, and he explains his first time going to a black barbecue. And talking about the food, talking about his experience of like there's so much food that he had, he's in food coma, and then they bring him apple pie, that there's Mama T who's great grandma and she's the matriarch of the family and her birthday's next week, so you better come back. And just talking about what an amazing experience he had at this black barbecue. But the reactionary bit was these two famous black YouTubers reacting to the video of this white guy explaining, describing a black barbecue from a white perspective. And so so it was those guys going, okay, I can see what you're saying about the apple pie. Okay, that's good. Like at one point, the guys presented with two different potato salads. And so, which one's better? And he says, oh, I can't make a decision. They're both so good. He doesn't want to insult anyone's cooking. Yeah. And so I saw that one the other day.
That's good.
Let's see.
Some of them are good. Some people, they're a little too hammy on purpose. Like Nate and I, we joke, we call those theater kids.
Yeah.
When their whole shtick is like about being shocked by anything and everything.
Well, I like Penguin Zero or whatever his name is, Penguin Z or whatever, Charlie Moist, whatever his name is. He to me, Robin's back. I'm sorry, Robin.
No,
I didn't know
okay.
if you would come back with us.
I understand. You don't need to just show me sleeping.
Yeah, well, again, we all said goodnight to you. The chat said goodnight to you. And but I understand you were
rice and all sorts of
yes.
So
I love Meow. By the way, I love his little cat butthole.
Did you do that for Dale?
I think that should satisfy Dale's butt fetish. Lucy, that guy gets on my nerves, says Aston Martin. Let's see, when I would go to the CT Nexpo, which is in itself a scam, but the artist there would say, avoid art schools and learn this stuff on your own. You're super great at what you do, so I know nepotism must cut to the core. Well, I shouldn't, nepotism's helped me. There's been times when friends have helped me. There's been time, like Casey was just talking about, I sent her a link to a job posting out in LA, and it ended up, getting her all this work. And it wasn't my name that got her. It was the fact that I saw a job posting. She didn't. I just sent it to her. Right. Yeah. That's still nepotism. That's still me sending it to my friend, and, it's not something that's ever going to go away, I think, because you see it all the time where actors' children are then actors, and producers' children are then actors, musicians' children are then musicians, and they basically have this amazing career in their early 20s when other musicians might have to work a little harder because they don't, they're not related to someone famous to get to the same place.
Yeah.
And so, Moist Critical, says Aston Martin. Yeah, Moist Critical, the way I look at it, there's different types of people on the internet. And, if you don't like someone, don't watch them. I personally find the guy's dry humor very funny. And I like his descriptions of things. He's very visual in his metaphors that he uses to describe things. And he just recently did a video talking about the Borderlands movie that I was laughing at. I thought it was funny. But that, again,
I heard that was a real stinker.
His video on it was funny. Let's see.
I've only seen like a glimpse of a Rotten Tomatoes score, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Halle Berry's Catwoman is that low.
All it does is make Fallout look better.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So Dale says, I love a well-drawn butt. Art Crumb draws nice butts. Magic Marmot says, you'd want to hire people you know. Aston Martin says that's fair. And Aston Martin says, I think he can be abrasive, kind of like Mongol. Yeah, abrasive, I would agree with. He's very blunt. And I think that it works for his channel because, again, people kind of expect that bluntness. Again, I like his descriptive language that he does. I've watched a couple of his live streams. He's very different in his live streams than how he is on YouTube. In his live streams, he's a lot more just kind of relaxed and going through whatever it is that he finds interesting on the internet. And then his YouTube is where he'll find the highlights from his live streams on Twitch and then put them together and kind of do an intro and an outro about what he was talking about during that as kind of like an introduction to, so people expect what they watch, so they're not just coming into it blind when he does his clips. And so, is he fair? That's fair. I think he can be abrasive, yes. Or is he? The thing is, actors try to breed actors like the eugenics war in Star Trek, and then I see, and then Dale at Dale, ouch. Like Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks, he does a lot of work in comedy. And then Drew Barrymore, she comes from Hollywood royalty.
Oh yeah.
Her her bloodline goes back to, I want to say, John Barrymore the first, which was a vaudevillian actor. And so when film started in LA, when they were making it in New Jersey, and Edison just kept suing the shit out of them, and so then they moved to LA to make film and stuff. They grabbed a bunch of creators that, creative people from vaudeville at that time. And the Barrymores was, they were one of the groups. Let's see. And then Dale says, ouch. And then Hanks Jr. says Aston Martin. Goldie Hawn's daughter, she's an actress. Oh gosh. Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Zoe.
She's an actress. And a musician, Sean Lennon and Julian Lennon, both musicians. There's nepotism. It's just you can't deny it. It's a fact.
It's unavoidable, I think.
Yeah, and said, did Amber mention the Barrymores? Yes, I did. I was thinking about how Ron Howard's daughter, despite being really great at what she does, really has had way more chances than most. He actually has 4 daughters, all in the industry, and then I want to say like 1 or 2 sons. And then Malcolm McDowell's kid married Lily Collins. There's a film museum in Fort Lee named after the Barrymores. I've been there a few times. Fort Lee used to be the original Hollywood of the early 20th century. And then why did you think one Bond girl married Ringo and another married Charlie Sheen, or 4? Bryce Dallas, I think. Let's see.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah. There's a lot of Howards out there, but I think Ron's the only director. Let's see. Are we done with this panel?
I just wrapped up.
Woo! Okay, so we ran a half hour little long tonight, but that's okay. I love the panel. Where we left off is I'll get you, and then it goes to my panel where Philo flashes back to her childhood. And so I guess we're going to be doing another flashback next episode of Philo's past. So Malcolm McDowell's dad is Roddy McDowell, a famous actor in his own right. True. And then Britney Spears is famous, but nobody ever talks about his baby brother, Kosher Dill. He's Jewish. It's interesting. Macaulay Culkin's brother, what's his name? Culkin.
Kieran.
Yeah, Kieran Culkin has continued acting while Macaulay stopped acting. And
he doesn't need to act. He has fuck you money.
But you see Kieran
He put together a band where all he do is sing about pizza.
But you see Kieran Culkin pop up in all kinds of things. He's doing a version of Glenn Ross on Broadway.
I just read about that.
Yeah, give me a second. Oh, let me look up the cast. So Glengarry.
Is Bob Odenkirk in that?
Yes, Bob Odenkirk, Glenn Ross. But it's like this amazing cast. Broadway. Okay.
Random fun fact: my husband owns a Bronco car, and I try to convince him to name it Bronk Odenkirk.
Yeah. So it's
I really like that name.
Kieran Culkin, Bob Odenkirk, Bill Burr to star in Glengarry Glen Ross.
That's
Broadway
right, Bill
show.
Burr. I remember there was one that was like, what?
You know, if he gets the Tony, that puts him in line for an EGOT.
Really?
Yeah, I know that he's gotten Emmys before, and has Bill Burr gotten an Oscar? And I know he's gotten Grammys for his comedy albums.
Bill Burr, no.
Let's see.
Really?
Burr never won an Oscar ever.
Ian says,
Oh.
see, YouTube, Bill Burr talks about Oscars, reacts to Best Picture nominees. Nope, he would still need to win an Oscar to get the EGOT. But yes.
I would have never guessed he was that close, though.
So
Yeah.
let me turn off our screens here, and then I'm going to say goodnight to Robin. Good night, Robin. Night.
Good night.
And then, she woke up. Good night, Robin. And then I'm going to say goodnight, Casey. Thank you very much for being
Thanks
on
for
the
having
show.
me. I had a lot of fun.
I'm going to roll you into the rotation of the other artists, and I tend to try and ask at least like a week ahead of time or so, you know, and see, can you do this right there? So thank you very much for coming. And now that it's just me, Amber Greenlee, I want to say thank you everyone in chat for watching with us today and joining with this insanity. And I hope to see you guys in the future. Have a good one.